Hello, my name is Rocco Anthony Feramisco. Today's in-studio guest, Sarah Hall. She's reaching out to the community with her online abundance course. Sarah also has meditations, spiritual discussions on a multitude of topics, a radio show where you're given a chance to call in and receive messages from the angels on your spiritual journey. Ms. Sarah Hall is also a spiritual teacher, intuitive counselor, and healer. She specializes in communicating with the angels and teaches you how to work with your angels. She's also a certified angel therapy practitioner by world-renowned Hay House author Doreen Virtue. She's a medium, Reiki practitioner, and shamanic journey guide. Ms. Sarah Hall's full online Manifesting Abundance is a direct source of manifesting data-driven goods. Her 5 free YouTube videos alone on this topic are highly informative in itself. All of the links are posted below this video. Hey Sarah, so any idea how people could shift into abundance right now?
Yes. So how I ask people to shift into abundance is this. I ask them to work to shift their belief system and get into an emotional state of greater peace and security with regard to their financial flow and their well-being. So one of the ways that we do this is we look at the way that abundance works in spiritual truth. This course was channeled, so a lot of the information kind of comes from an intuitive and spiritual source. We first look to establish how spirit, or the highest version of the self, intends us to exist with the universe, and that is in a state of perfect flowing abundance. And the course also teaches, this is very important for all of us to understand, I think in any part of spiritual growth, that we are one with God. We are one with the divine. God or the divine can be sourced from within. If God and the divine can be sourced from within, if you are one with source, then you're also one with abundance. You're one with anything that you can imagine creating or attracting. So the key to begin, I think, manifesting abundance right away, the core principle, the prerequisite, if you will, is to believe and understand that you are one with source, or that you are one with infinite abundance now, that you can access it now. So in other words, radically changing your self-concept is a big part of what we work to do in shifting to abundance consciousness. Now, it can be a little bit easier said than done when we think about that, because what we know about the human psyche is that it is multifaceted, multi-layered, and there's a lot to it. So the associations that you may have with, financial well-being and abundance and so forth, may have been influenced by the conditioning that you've had your whole life growing up. So we also look to go into the memories and just mental and emotional associations and beliefs that you hold with finances based on your conditioning, so that you can kind of release or purge out limitations and align with truth and oneness. The second part of doing this is, first of all, not only shifting the self-concept as we talked about, but also creating a new kind of habit of consciousness in the mind. So the human mind works in cycles and rhythms. As you get up and go about your day, your mind is going to be triggered by all kinds of different things that will set about the usual moods or thought cycles or beliefs that you usually associate with those triggers out in the world. When you practice abundance consciousness regularly, that is the belief in your ability to manifest abundance infinitely because you are one with source, that habit falls into place and creates this overall energetic network of well-being with you and the world, and you lift the way that you are attracting things in life so that it matches abundance. So I'd say that if we were to shorten it to what's the one core thing we want to do to shift into abundance consciousness, it would be shift your self-concept so that you can see yourself as an unlimited being capable of manifesting or attracting anything and one with source.
So So why were you guided to suggest a minimum repeated process of your abundance course consisting of 40 days or longer if you feel guided to? Was that to address a learning curve?
So when I created my course, I was guided to suggest that it be something that is repeated over time, something that we work with regularly, because again, the human mind works in cycles and rhythms, and you want to, if you want to really learn something new, you've got to practice it more than once. Same with trying to learn a musical instrument or something like that. You've got to practice it to imprint it into your being. Now, the particular suggested number of days that I was given was about 40 days or so, or longer if you feel guided to do that. So the course that I have is really almost like a ritual. You take 8 days and you go through these lessons and ideas and practices, meditations and so forth, and you work to shift your self-concept and to raise your energy. If you repeat that 8-day sequence 5 times in a row, you get to the number 40. Now, the number 8 was a number that has been held significant or even sacred in spiritual traditions that are ancient. For example, the Chinese mysticism, this was something that was used as a sacred number. In Egyptian mysticism, the number 8 was a sacred number. The students of Pythagoras used to meditate upon and even draw the number 8 as a meditation on the infinite, on that which is infinite, and abundance is infinite. So 8 is one of these. 5 is the number of transformation. So I kind of like that 8 times 5 is 40. Now, the number 40, this one is significant. 40 days-ish is about the number of days that is often used in religions throughout the world for some kind of a transformation to take place. In almost every major world religion, actually, you can trace back and find some sort of deity or ascended master or teacher or seeker of some kind, hero, who takes an increment of 40 days to get into a state of enlightenment. So Jesus, for example, with his 40 days in the desert, that's an example of that. And furthermore, psychology has even, run. So there's been some studies that have been run that show that just around that number of days-ish. It doesn't have to be exactly 40. It's because science, has seen a lot of different numbers, but around that number 40, anchored right around that number of 40 days, is about the time it takes to form a new habit. So I felt that was a good one to follow. So yeah, it's our little time we used for shift.
All right, so here's another question. What is abundance consciousness?
So abundance consciousness is the concept of getting into a mindset that is one with source and completely freed of any limitations that would keep us from experiencing abundance. So in the course, we really focus again on the concept of I am one with source and therefore one with abundance. And abundance, I only need to look within to find abundance. The divine presence inside of me is the source of abundance. So abundance consciousness is to really make a deep understanding at the level of the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, so that you get that. There's that bridge between the inner divine presence and my thoughts and my identity and my world. It's this open golden pathway of abundance. What I want, I receive. I believe that I deserve it. So I develop deservingness. I love myself, and I believe in the infinite power of my divine self. That is to abundance consciousness is to practice being in a state like that and to maintain it, essentially, so that you can experience your own little everyday miracles.
All right, Sarah. Then we wanted to know, why were you so inspired to design this course in manifesting abundance?
So when I originally set out to teach a little bit more in depth on certain topics, of course, I always defer to my angels and my guides to ask them, what would you like me to share? What messages are important? And after praying on it, I received the message that abundance is the first topic we'll teach on. And the reason why is because our relationship with abundance, with support and supply and safety, which all things which at a earthly level we associate with money or, again, abundance and that kind of thing, physical supply, is deeply, inherently, psychologically, and spiritually linked to our concept and relationship with God. So if God is the source of life, God or the divine is the source of all wellness, of all abundance, it is the universe, God is the universe, then our support, our financial supply, our abundance is the same. So relating in a fear-based, for example, way with money and abundance and supply, to feel stuck or limited or lost or unsupported there, is to have a degree of separation between you and your concept of God or your experience and understanding of well-being in the bosom of the divine, in the womb of the divine kind of thing. So the angels kind of express that, if we can heal our relationship with abundance, if we can obliterate lack consciousness, the fear of not having enough, so to speak, and really do that, imagine if we really eliminated that from the planet completely, then we would be eliminating most of our problems. Almost all of them. It would be a shift that would take us into a place where, humanity probably gets along better with one another and we thrive better with ourselves and our relationship with ourselves and our experience of life itself. Our cosmology is uplifted into light and love and well-being when we experience abundance, consciousness, and all of its incredible fruitful effects, as opposed to lack consciousness. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I trusted the angels and I said, yep, that's the topic. That's the one to go with then.
Okay, Sarah, so money is energy, and energy is contagious just as laughter spreads, right? And so we're programmed into this mental paradigm mentality of scarcity. Negative energy is a resistance, and some say I don't have a negative outlook, right, when it comes to money. Though what they don't realize is when they're upset because they're online paying their bills, and they don't want to pay these bills, that's a negative resistance that pushes away abundance, I'd say, and abundance of money. So what are your ideas?
That is something that I would think would be a reflection of being in abundance consciousness. Because in abundance consciousness, there is no fear, there's no sense of limitation and lack around what we're able to create and do and how we're able to sustain our life. And so abundance, money, and all the forms of abundance in the world, doesn't have to just be money, flow through us. They don't get stuck inside of us because we're trying to grasp and hold on to our potential, to make money or something like this. So that's a big, kind of help. It moves through me. I'm able to give it, or spend it or send it to a cause or whatever, because there is no fear, and it just continues to mirror and express and uplift what I kind of stand for, what I wish to resonate with, what I wish my relationship to abundance to resonate with. So yeah, I think that's a great thing, putting money towards something positive. And furthermore, we can be our own economy. When we get into this abundance consciousness, we don't need to worry that it's like, oh, well, there's only a limited supply based on the outside world being this, that, and the other thing. Trust me when I say the walls of limitation will come, crashing down when you shift into this belief. And the economy can change as much as it will. Your job situation could change, your career could change. But if you remain anchored in the consciousness of abundance, you'll always, always, always be provided for. You're allowing your divine self to provide for you, no matter what changes.
I thought the meditations you had were mixed with royalty-free music. It turns out the music is actually composed and made by you.
Yeah, I wrote all of the music, so that's what I did. Yep. Well, it was a pleasure talking with you today, Rocco. As always, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Always so grateful. Thank you.
There you have it, folks. So if you're interested and want to know more and start applying these principles today, there are two ways. You could register for Sarah Hall's online Manifesting Abundance, or you can get your feet wet first with her free introductory mini course that has the tools to get you on your way and inspire you to subscribe to many of her tools and resources like her newsletter.